Something new to stream. Film and TV critic Bonnie Laufer joins us with her new suggestions, and you've got 3 really good ones.
Yeah, I got some good ones today. Let's start with Apple TV Plus, my favorite. I love Apple TV Plus. Their series are always so excellent. One's coming on July 31st. It's called Las Azules in Spanish, but it's Women in Blue.
Okay.
This is based on a true story. In 1971, in Mexico City, there was a serial killer on the loose, and it was getting bad. Like, this guy was, you know, he was doing his thing. What happened was the government and the police force wanted to take the attention off because they were not being able to find this guy. So they created their first women's police force, and they thought they'll bring these women in, they'll walk around in their miniskirts and take the attention off. But no, these women were not stupid. They were really smart women, and they joined forces together to try to find the serial killer, not expected by the government and the police. It is the most fascinating thing. It's all in Spanish. It's got all Spanish stars, so we've not heard of any of these people, but we haven't. But of course, I'm
glad
Mexico,
they didn't do like an Americanized version of this.
It's wonderful.
So
like
it's
I said,
authentic.
yeah, it's very authentic. I was riveted. I watched all 10 episodes. I couldn't get off my couch. Like, honestly, it was so well done. So I got to speak to all of the stars. 2 of them did not speak English, so I had a translator doing it, which was always interesting when you do an interview. But I did speak to the another 2 of the 2 stars. Her name, one of them is Barbara Mori and Jimena Sarinara. Jimena is a huge Mexican music star. Like, she's, you know, but she's fabulous in this. So I asked them, and Barbara will be speaking now, about the camaraderie between the 4 main women, and was it instant? So let's have a listen to what they had to say.
The first time, it was the first time that we met each other. It was in a restaurant, and then we came and we were very nervous and excited, and, you know, because I admire them a lot for the work that they have done and the musician she is, and Natalia's and Amoritas. And so you're nervous to know these people, and, you know, and you have this expectation that everything goes perfectly, and it was perfect. Everything was perfect. We were 4 women, you know, trying to, you know, connect. That's it. Yeah. No ego, no trying to, you know, no, it was just trying to connect. Very grateful, and yeah, especially very grateful for being, to have the opportunity of being part of this tremendous show.
So you got a sneak peek at this one, but it doesn't start streaming
July
until
31st.
Okay.
First 2 episodes drop on Apple TV Plus, and then every week another episode until the end of September. So I highly recommend this. It's just, I'm
putting it on my list.
Totally riveted.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to my buddy Viggo Mortensen. I mean, he can do no wrong in my eyes. I just love Viggo.
Mine either.
Yeah, so he's had his 2nd directorial film. This premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival last September, where I first saw it. It's a big, sweeping Western. It's just beautiful. Watch it again at last, because when I interviewed him, I had to watch it again just to remind me, and I loved it even more. And I'm not really even a huge Western fan, but it's just so beautifully done. It stars Viggo, of course. He writes, produces, directs, stars, and also Vicky Krieps, who is so fantastic. You just fall in love with her character. They fall in love. He goes off into the Civil War, and she has to kind of fend for herself. It's a beautiful film. So I had a
chance. The Dead Don't Hurt.
The Dead Don't Hurt. Yes, thank you. And it's now on digital platforms, so you can download it. It's just a lovely, lovely film. I spoke to Viggo last week, and I asked him, does it get easier your 2nd time around when you're a director? So let's have a listen to what he had to say.
I guess the 2nd time around, I think I trusted my instincts more consistently. Not that I didn't unfolding, but just in terms of, you know, if there was some difference of opinion, you know, after taking in everybody's point of view, when I felt really strongly that I wanted a certain kind of shot, or maybe not too many shots in a scene, I just trusted that. And I thought, no, it's going to be all right. You sure you don't want more coverage in case in the editing? And I'm like, no, this is the way it should be, and it's going to work. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was just a little more confident about that. Still listening to people, still taking in their suggestions and adjusting accordingly. But I think I felt a little more confident in my own gut feeling about things.
Yeah.
So that one's out now.
Yeah, digital download. Yeah,
Okay.
beautiful film. If you like westerns, it's a really well-crafted film. You know, it's Viggo. He knows what he's doing. He's
Yeah.
a smart man. So
Red Eye is the next one.
Red Eye I really enjoyed. It's another thriller. This now is streaming on Paramount Plus, 6 episodes, starring Richard Armitage, who is so good. He always gets himself into these precarious situations, this guy. And he finds himself, comes off a plane after a trip. He's a doctor, and he comes off a plane, and he's arrested for a so-called murder. So basically what happens is he's put in custody with this female agent. Yes, they have to go back to China, get back on the Red Eye. And oh my God, mysterious things happen on this flight. Everybody keeps dying, and we need to find out who is killing and what's going on here. It's fascinating. It's a good, quick 6-episode watch. Good thriller. I love Richard Armitage. He's always so great in everything that he does. So I do have an interview. I didn't bring it today, but it is on my website if anybody wants to watch my interview with Richard. And a really awesome, kick-ass series. Really enjoyed this one too.
We got a little bit of time to talk about a legend.
Yeah.
Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart.
I love that first series.
I remember watching, exactly. And, you know, here's a very funny quick story. The other day I was interviewing Wendy Malick, who people will know from every single sitcom you've ever seen. And just out of the blue, we were talking about, comedy series. And I said, I'll never forget the Bob Newhart finale of that with Suzanne Plachette. And she said, yes, it's the best finale ever. And then the next day he passes away. And I go, how weird was that? I never talk about Bob Newhart, but in Elf, the guy was truly a legend, truly. His comedy, he started as an accountant and became a stand-up comedian. I mean, really?
Brian Wood also, we're going to bring him in here because he's got weather and traffic to do. But Brian, you're a huge Bob Newhart fan as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, right from his comedy albums in the 60s all the way through his shows, and of course with the Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
He finally got an Emmy, I think, for the Big Bang Theory.
That's exactly. Isn't that weird that all those years he never had one, and then got it for the Big Bang Theory?
Exactly.
So yeah, good.
I'm so
what a
pleased for
legend.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.